Hello, welcome to a modern video. Today I bring to you a very cool and interesting concoction. This comes to you courtesy of Elves. They gave me this deck list and I thought it was very cool. And it plays Reclaimer, which is all I need in order to be interested in a deck. So we're playing Reclaimer like never before, really. So let's go over what we're trying to do here. This is very much an Elves deck. So we have the classic Llanowar Elves, Heritage Druid, Elvis Mystic. We're trying to ramp very quickly, put a bunch of Elves onto the table. And then we're trying to end the game through attacking with, Elvish Champion. We also have a Realm Walker in order to get some very powerful card advantage. Same is true with Elvish War Master, which acts both as a way to go wide and also a way to end the game thanks to the activate ability at the end. And obviously one of the best creatures printed in the last couple of years, which is a Grist the Hunger Tide. This creature / planeswalker. We can actually find Collected Company, a Grist off of Collected Company. We can cast a Realm off of Realm Walker if we name Insect, which we're probably not going to be doing, but we could if we did. but yeah, so very cool interaction here with Grist and Collected Company. And since we're going wild, we're also playing Sylvan Anthem, which does a couple of things. The first thing, obviously, is it grows all of your 1-drops into 2/2s, which is no joke. Like, it actually going from a 1/1 to a 2/2 is a very big difference. And not only that, but also whenever your creature enters the battlefield, you scry 1, which means that if you are triggering Elvish War Master or something like that, that's a pretty powerful tool in order to make sure that we don't run out of gas in the late game. Now, I was saying earlier that we're a Reclaimer deck, and the utility of Reclaimer is not so much as we've seen in other decks, but this is basically like a strong Tarmogoyf, right? Like, it's going to be a 3/4 or a 4/4 fairly reliably. And then what Reclaimer can do is it can make some very interesting tricks. Yavimaya has so many uses in this deck list, which is pretty crazy. So first of all, obviously when you have a fetch land or whenever you have Nurture and Peatland, you can tap it for mana without needing to hurt yourself, which is sometimes going to be useful. The very cool thing is that Quirion Ranger allows you to return a forest back to your hand. So what that does is it allows you to, fetch for a Boseiju with Reclaimer, and then you can bounce it to untap your Reclaimer and activate it again maybe, or maybe to untap one of your mana creatures and net some extra mana, or simply because you want to blow up an artifact, enchantment, or a land, which is not a very bad effect at all. We also have access to Bojuku Bog, which we can tutor at instant speed, of course, or we can actually rebuy thanks to Cradle and Quirion Ranger in order to get multiple uses out of it. And the same is true for Dryad Arbor, which we can do the same thing, where we can either untap it or we can have effectively infinite blockers, which is a very common trick in Legacy Elves as well. I'm not too sold on the Dryad Arbor being worth this slot, honestly, but we'll see how it plays out. So the main deck is very cool. I think that there are some very powerful interactions, and one that I forgot to mention even is that Yavimaya actually combos very well with Elvish Champion, right? You make your opponent's lands into basic forests. Not basic, just non-basic forest, but nevertheless, this gives your creature forest walk. You can attack with a bunch of unblockable random elves, which is pretty sweet, and that's why we see 3 copies of Elvish Champion as opposed to something like a Suri, which requires a lot of mana to actually present a kill. So very cool main deck, super interested in trying it out. In the sideboard, we have mono impactful cards. So Murderous Cut is the only sort of medium card in the sideboard, but I guess we have to answer Murktide somehow. I'm interested in seeing whether Murderous Cut is actually better than something like Assassin's Trophy in a matchup like that, but we'll see. Necromentia is going to be against the combo decks, even decks like Amulet or, decks that rely on very specific cards in order to function properly. Thoughtseize also against combo, against decks that have sweepers and stuff like that. Force of Vigor against your hammers, against your artifact decks of the world. And finally, 4 copies of Endurance, because Living End is a very good deck. So we're gonna see how that works out. But yeah, super cool deck list. Very excited to try it out. And if you're enjoying the content and you would like to see more, of course, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're interested in coaching or in supporting the stream through Patreon or through direct donations, I can play any deck list of your choosing on a video right here whenever you do so. And yeah, it's a great way you can support my content. Without further ado, let's jump into some matches. Alright, here we go. This hand is terrible, ship it. This hand is also quite bad, and I just noticed that if you play Dread Arbor, it actually triggers your Sylvan Anthem, which is kind of cute. This hand's bad. Every time you see a Dread Arbor in this kind of deck, it's just a virtual mulligan by itself. I guess we're keeping this hand, and I think we're shipping the Realm Walker in probably a land. Maybe Yorion Ranger. That has to be wrong, but like Ranger is not doing anything for me unless I have another creature here. Faceless Haven. Well, sure. Alright, so let's play a Yorion Ranger and we're just gonna pass the turn. Faceless Haven in Modern. Color me intrigued. Oh, this is Skred Red? Are we really playing against Skred? Well, we're definitely trading here. Easy trade. Should I just play my Fetchland and turn that into a Dread Arbor? Well, never mind. Yeah, we're gonna play a Reclaimer and play Overgrown Tomb, I think. Overgrown Tomb tapped. There's an argument for playing the Fetchland there so that Reclaimer can be turned into a 3/4 for next turn, but that's gonna happen regardless, so. Cold Steel Heart. Wow. Well, super punished for what I did there. So here we have two options. We can grow Reclaimer into a 3/4, or we can play Sylvan Anthem. I think I'd rather play the Anthem, because this is gonna make it so next turn Collected Company is gonna be much more impactful, and we can cast a company regardless of whether my opponent kills a Reclaimer or not. We could also technically fetch for Dread Arbor if we wanted to do that. And if we would fetch for Arbor, that would be a 2/2, and it would also help us scry. Probably don't want to do that though. I do think I want to hold the Reclaimer back to block since my opponent dashed the monkey last turn. So that's fine, I think. Another Faceless Haven. Karn the Great Create. Okay. I don't think I'm scared of anything here. Ensnare and Bridge is the only thing. We do have Boseiju, so if we find another Reclaimer. Liquid Metal Coating, yeah, that's not a good thing to pick up there. I'm gonna play around my opponent's last card being a removal spell, I think. Maybe I don't. No, I'm gonna. I'm a coward. Okay, so we're gonna pass the turn here. And if my opponent coatings my land, I'm just gonna company. And if we find the Reclaimer, Reclaimer is gonna be a 4/5, so it can't be touched. That's a coating. A floating mana here. Opponent. So now that they have activated Karn, we can do this thing. And let's see what we get. It kind of sucks. It allows us to save our land, which is cute. Yeah, let's do that. So let's say okay. Double trigger with Sylvan Anthem, which is cool. And put that on the bottom. And put that on top. And then we're gonna activate Yorion Ranger and bounce. Sure. Next turn we're gonna get to play Reclaimer. So the last card was Lightning Bolt, so good thing I did not fetch for what's its name. Because that would have been a disaster. So here's a Reclaimer. We get Scry. So this is gonna mean that all my creatures are gonna be uncounterable, which is very nice. Unblockable, sorry, not uncounterable. Elvish Mystic to the bottom. Elvish Champion into play. So by drawing this, it means that I don't have to activate Reclaimer to get it. Yeah, that's probably fine. It allows me to use Reclaimer to fetch what's his name? Boseiju instead, which is pretty nice. So now Karn goes down to 1, and we play on. Faceless Haven doesn't threaten anything, which is nice. Karn doesn't do anything either, because we just bounce whatever they target with coding. I think we're in okay shape here. We're gonna get to clear the Karn. We can't attack with Champion though. But Korean Ranger is unblockable, so we don't need to attack with Champion. We could get Dried Arbor too with Reclaimer, which is interesting. I'm probably gonna get Nurturing Peatland or Boseiju. My opponent should have killed the Korean Ranger in case this wasn't clear, but I don't think they saw the onboard trick of bouncing the Overgrown Tomb. Sure, you have a blocker. That is not gonna do anything. So, here's the Yavimaya. Attack Karn. Opponent could have a removal spell. They remove my Elves champion, and that could be a problem. I don't think my opponent read. I don't think my opponent's caught up to what we're trying to do here. Yeah, I don't think my opponent's caught up. Skred that. Wait, why is this a 5/4? This buffs Faceless Haven. Whoops. Well, that sucks. So let's do this. We're gonna get Boseiju. And let's untap Reclaimer, bouncing Boseiju. So opponent Skreds the Quirion Ranger, which I guess is fine. Like, it's not great, but now the question is, do I want to blow up the liquid metal coating? And I think the answer is no, because it just doesn't do anything. Like, if they attempt to destroy my land, I just sack it to the Reclaimer, and we're in the same spot, so doesn't actually do anything. So sack Yavimaya, and I think we're just gonna get another Yavimaya here. So opponent drew a land there. I feel like it's pretty important to kill this Karn. Is my opponent gonna start to get frisky? They are. Even though they know I have Boseiju in hand. Okay, so that can play both offense and defense, which is kind of cute. Let's play Heritage Druid. Let's get our scry in. And I think we're just gonna... Do we want to attack Elvis Champion at Karn? These Faceless Heavens are actually a problem. These Faceless Heavens are actually problematic here. That's a good one. And I put that one on top, I think. So now we're gonna attack Karn, which should kill it. So that problem's gone now. And I think my opponent can't activate both Faceless Havens. So whichever one they activate, I'm just gonna kill. Mind Stone. Okay. They crack immediately. I do wonder if my opponent has some sort of... Skred Reclaimer. That's fine. So now I get to attack, which is nice. So we get to swing for 6. 1, 2, 3... 1. Yeah, I think I have to attack with both. And if my opponent draws a land and they attack with both creatures, then we're gonna have to Boseiju. But if they don't, we get to company and we get to see what we get. Them top decking this Skred there is pretty good for them. Oh my god. Okay. So we're just gonna company here now. Why would they not attack with the other one? They had actual lethal. So let's get... We could get double Realm Walker. This would be 4 5s. Because we're not going to be able to block this thing, so... This is 6. I think this is lethal, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to name Elf with both, I guess. Maybe I should be naming Elf and Insect. So any order. And then we're going to bottom that. And... that... Yeah, actually that. So top that, and this means that all my dudes are unblockable now, including the Elvis Champion. And this is very lethal. Bottom the land. I'm just gonna attack, I don't even know, I'm just stalling. Just stalling. So this is lethal. Swing for 18. That was a really cool game. That was a very, very cool game. We did some sweet stuff there. Okay, so Force of Vigor is interesting. I do not know how much I want to actually mess with my deck, though. Like, maybe my opponent has Anger of the Gods. That's really the only thing I'm sort of worried about. I definitely want to cut Bojuka Bog. And I guess I'm going to bring in, like, a Force for it. I could also bring in Murderous Cut or Thoughtseize. I think I'm going to go with the one of Force. It's kind of awkward to have, you know, like a company deck and then you're cyberling a bunch of non-company cards. Non-company hits. This hand looks good, so we can go turn 2 Realm Walker, which is not bad. Here's this card. Do you have removal spell for it? You don't? No way. Mind Stone. I don't think I'm blowing that up. I do want to play a 3-drop here. The question is which one? I think the Realm Walker. Because it gives me a look at finding Heritage Druid off the top, and if I do find Heritage Druid, then I get to dump my hand, which is great. I'm not going to blow up the Mind Stone with Force. I think this is fine. Really want to dodge Anger here. Blood Moon. That sucks. That sucks. Oh, I should have... What am I doing here? I should have forced. Should have definitely forced. Not that it mattered, really, but like I should have nonetheless. So I think now that we're in this spot, I'm supposed to just play another Elvish Mystic. I could just play Reclaimer, but it's just gonna die to the Pirate Spellbomb, so we're just gonna do this. Yeah, I should not have F6'd. I honestly just forgot that there was like a Force of Vigor staring in my hand. Next turn we do get to company, even if my opponent kills one of these Elvish Mystic dudes. Cough of the Hammer. Classic threat. Opponent's gonna kill my dude, okay. So here we're just gonna force blowing both of these, exiling Elvish Reclaimer? No, there's nowhere Reclaimer's the way to go. I think I'm just gonna exile the champion. Fine here. Sylvan Anthem sucks. So we're gonna attack this thing. Each mountain. So this nets 2 mana if they want to kill it. Seems potentially problematic. So I think I'm just gonna go Reclaimer, and I'm gonna swing with both. Maybe I should have just cast Collected Company there. But I really want to keep my opponent off of mana after they missed a land drop. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that, but I just don't want to give my opponent the option. Cold Steel Heart. You got it. This can't block, which is good for me. No blocks, obviously. So this means we're going to get to clear the Koth, which is huge. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Pretty good, huh? Let's get another one of these bad boys. 1, 2, 3. Sylvan Anthem. I guess I'm just not going to kill this Koth. Like, all of a sudden, like, my board state is so much better than theirs. I'm trying to think if I should activate now, which means I don't kill the Koth. I have to kill the Koth probably, right? Which means, and this is the awkward thing with the Avimaya, obviously. Let's get a fetch land. Another Grist. All right. So this means Reclaimers are going to be beefy next turn. Kill my Skred now? Interesting. Okay. Does my opponent have a sweeper here? Well, that doesn't do anything. Opponent swings, which means they can't block now. They should have killed this thing. Ensnaring Bridge. It's kind of weird. Okay. Fetch land. Get a forest. Sylvan Anthem. Oh, I should have gotten the Black Source. Whoops. Let's do this. Yeah, I should have definitely gotten the Black Source there. Big mistake. War Master Heritage Druid allows us to continue going off a little bit. We're looking for... We have so much scrying going on. So this only triggers once a turn. If I do cast this Realm Walker, that means I can cast this. I guess I can't cast it here, so I'm just gonna bottom this. This one is actually free to cast, so this one we're gonna top. So cast this. Collected Company is nice. Yeah, top that one. Do we want to cast this Realm Walker? I think no. I guess this maximizes my mana for next turn. And I'm kind of interested in doing that, so I'm just gonna name Insect here. I just name Elf in case my opponent has a removal spell for the other one. And we're still gonna top this. So this means that now we can't activate Reclaimer on instead, but we're probably not doing that regardless. Maybe I should be though, and I should get a fetch land so that I can get my second Overgrown Tomb and cast this Grist so I can kill the Koth. Because, oh, this is -5. Yeah, we're not scared of this. We're not scared of the Koth. I thought it was -4 for a second, but it being -5 means that I don't really care about this. I really care about finding Kaheera and Ranger though. Because if I find Ranger, then we're going to be able to bounce Boseiju. Like we can just tutor for Boseiju with Reclaimer and bounce it. But yeah, the Snare Bridge obviously prevents my opponent's Mountain from attacking too. Well, how does that work with Kaheera? Huh. I actually don't know how that works, how that's supposed to work. Opponent's down to 1 card in hand. I guess I'm gonna do this right now. And the reason for doing it right now is so I can keep going off with Realmwalker. Alright. There's Kaheera and Ranger. So many Skred triggers. That is bad. So we're looking for Boseiju now. Bottom that. We can actually cast that, and that's 2 triggers, so that's fine. So top this. Heritage Druid. Tap these 3. Play War Master. We can get 2 more. I guess we only get 1 more Scry. Never mind. Hey, good stuff. All right, so we win next turn. Think that's accurate. Convenient. Very convenient. So my opponent has to play whatever they draw, which is pretty good. I guess Anger of the Gods is the literal only card I'm scared of. Anything that's not Anger of the Gods I don't care about. Second is Snare Bridge, maybe I do care about. Yep, I was just gonna say that. Okay, so now we used our 1 of 4s. And I guess we just gotta draw. We just have to draw another. We just have to draw another. What's his name? Another Boseiju. We have a lot of triggers to get there. We do have a lot of triggers to get there, but we just have to find our second Boseiju. And we should be able to beat these Koth emblem. Bottom that. Bottom that. Bottom that. Bottom that, and bottom that. Huh, we just whiffed. I guess we should have named Insect with the second Realmwalker, huh? We don't even have Dryad Arbor, so we can't bounce it. I have a redraw with Reclaimer, though. So let's... I mean, like a reshuffle, I should say. So let's Reclaimer, sack the Yavimaya, get whatever. Let's get a basic forest, cast that, Savanness, bottom that, Heritage Druid, okay, going off, bottom that, Elvish Mystic, okay, let's keep this party going, woo, this is hot, so top that, cast it, top that, cast it, stupid Grist. Hey! Alright, opponent. Can you kill me? Can you kill me here? Because I guess third and Snare Bridge would be something I can't beat. Yeah, Koth Emblem. But they only have 4 mountains. And I think we have way more than lethal. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, way more than lethal. I don't even want to count how much more than lethal we have. Just don't anger me, please. Koth. That's fine. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. We did so much scrying. It's wild. Discard this. Blow that up. Untap. Draw Boseiju. Discard this. Blow that up. And I guess I'm gonna cast this. Because it actually is more damage. It's also 4 1/1 tokens. Hell yeah. Well, that was sick. That was absolutely sick. We went off that match. That's wild. All right, see you next round. Alright, match number 2. The dreaded Yorion matchup. Double collected company though, so I'm assuming I have to keep this basic mountain into monkey. Well, let's just go fetch land, basic forest into Llanowar Elf. The reason for this is that I want to put lands in my graveyard in case I draw Reclaimer. Just the classic opening from the Yorion deck. Turn 1 basic mountain into basic forest into Ren. Just a classic Yorion opener, of course. Well, we probably lose now, right? Can we win anymore? I really doubt it. I want to see more of my opponent's deck though, because that's a very weird opening. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be something here. I'm not gonna block with a Dread Arbor though. Maybe I should be fetching in case my opponent exiles exactly Overgrown Tomb. But this monkey won the game right here, right? I can't, like this opener was just too much for me. But I want to see what my opponent fetches. I want to see that kind of stuff, you know? Because maybe they're just playing like a random Ponza deck with Yorion. Steam Vents. Okay. So they have removal, which is really bad news for us, obviously. Not gonna fetch Dread Arbor. This land is basically dead now. So I'm just gonna play a Ramwalker, and I'm gonna hope that the removal spell is an Holy Heat and it's not Lightning Bolt, because if it's Bolt, then we're probably just dead. Gonna Elf here and pass it. It is Bolt. Yeah, that's a really strong draw from the Yorion deck. Really strong draw. Pretty good draw. Turn 1 Monkey into turn 2 Ren against the Elves deck. Into flip Elvish Mystic, flip War Master, flip Heritage Druid. Yeah, I'm only gathering information here. I can't win this game, so just wanna see what my opponent's doing over there, because their list is obviously not. You see, they're playing white, playing Abundant Growth. So is this just 4-color, who just got an extremely weird draw that just worked out perfectly? I think this is just 4-color. I'm just not even gonna show them anymore. So I imagine Thoughtseize are pretty good. Actually, we do have access to a Cyber Guide here. Just realized that. Okay, so we want to cut 4 Heritage Druid, 1 Elvish Champion, and 1 Bog to bring in 4 Thoughtseizes and 2 Murderous. Cut Bog out, 4 Heritage Druid out, and 1 Elvish Champion. Yeah. What's the worst art? Just gonna go the blackboard other one. Okay, this is apparently the plan against 4-color. And again, you can find, I'm probably gonna link this. I'm gonna ask Llanowar Elf if they mind if I link this in the description, and you can probably access that if you're interested in trying out the deck. Okay, what is this? Turn 1 Elf. This hand looks good. We can go off with Runwalker with this hand. I think I'm gonna go with turn 1 Forest into Elf. Elf of the Llanowar variety. Just being on the play here, such a big deal. So we don't find ourselves in a similar spot. Turn 1 Monkey into Ren. Now we're so much better set up now for this. So I can go Quirion Ranger, bounce this, untap, and I can also play the Ramwalker. But if I do that, I'm going to be behind in a land drop. So I think I'd rather... So we're probably dead to Fury. So it's most likely not even worth playing around. Like, we just cannot beat a Fury, period. So we're just going to overextend into a Fury and accept defeat if my opponent happens to have it. We could attack, but I don't think... Solitude? Peaching Ledamri Skull. Wow, so they could have called for Fury, and instead they did this. Color me surprised. You know, taking this trade, obviously. And I'm trading with the Quirion Ranger because without a creature to untap, it just doesn't really do anything. An Elf here, we whiff, which sucks, but we do get to play out Elvish Mystic. Next turn we get to Grist, though, which is probably a big deal. And my opponent's mana situation is pretty awkward, which explains why they would just not call for Fury. Their mana situation is just weird. They don't have green mana. Exiled Expressive Iteration. So I can play Grist, or I can draw the Sylvan Anthem. Yeah, we're just gonna play Grist. I don't think it's particularly close. And we do get to mill the Sylvan Anthem, which I kind of don't want to do. But at least gives me another look for the Realmwalker. Yeah. Thoughtseize. So we're drawing Thoughtseize next turn, which we can cast. Yeah, we're just gonna swing here. Really hoping to dodge a Sweeper. If we can dodge a Sweeper, we're probably in good shape. Even Fury, unless it's Fury plus Ephemerate. Fury plus Ephemerate is probably game. But if it's just Fury, my point is to choose whether they want to clear my board or my Grist, and it looks like they don't have it. Sweet. Game number 3. I don't think I want to change anything. This setup seems fine to me. And I don't want to be playing random things like Necromantia or whatever. I'm not sold on this Murderous Cuts, though. I imagine they're there to kill Omnath, but let's see if my opponent will one time not have the turn 1 monkey in their 80 card deck. Just maybe once. Very interesting hand. Once again, a hand without black mana. This has happened multiple times already. So I'm a little bit skeptical of the mana base. I think the mana base has like 8 or 9 black sources or something like that. Which is very much on the low side of things, particularly when we're not playing that many lands, period. Maybe it's more. Maybe I'm miscounting. But we have, I think, 7 fetches, 2 Overgrown Tombs. Oh, and with the Bujigabog. Bujigabog is also black source. Oh, and Nunchum Peatland. Yeah, so maybe we're fine. We're just getting unlucky. Do I keep this hand? I think I do. We get to go turn 2 Mystic. Oh, come on. You have to give me a break. You can't have Monkey again. Turn 1 Monkey every single time. We only did not get turn 1 Monkey on the previous game because we only did not get turn 1 Monkey because my opponent had to lightning bolt my 1-drop. Otherwise, they would have also turned 1 Monkey. If they have Ren, I'm probably conceding, but I have to trade here, I think. Turn 2, we're gonna play War Master, I think, and that hopefully makes it so Chalice for 1. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna pull. Let's just fetch here for Black Source, just to shuffle. There's an argument for not doing that, and the reason for not doing that it's because we would get to. Man, this Chalice seems so bad. Yeah, so just having access to a shuffle effect in case we draw a Realmwalker. So I'm putting in Solitude here. Wow. Just the main Peachy Omnath. Jesus. Alright. Well, this one I'm not gonna fetch with. But like I was gonna be fetching anyways because I was basically locked on playing Grist. I don't think my opponent noticed that I have a Yavimaya in play. They should have gotten Roggen Triumph, which taps for every color because of the Yavimaya. Second iteration. Exiling Flooded Strand. Okay. Murderous Cut. So this is a little bit awkward. I don't think we want to play Boseiju, but I think I do want to play the War Master. But we're not gonna play out the Boseiju because interesting. So they're just gonna go get Call for Fury. It's bad for me. Very, very bad for me. We could get Dried Arbor here. We're also gonna have enough mana for Cut, which is nice. Let's see if they have the Ephemerate. Oh, I guess they can't Ephemerate. They have Chalice. What am I saying? Hopefully they pitch Cast Fury. Another iteration. Okay. All iterations all day. Exiling Call. Fury pitching Monkey. Which makes sense. They have Chalice in play. Clears my board. Okay. I imagine they're gonna call for another Fury. That's what I would do. Maybe they have only the one. The new lists for color only have a single Tom Fury to call for, which is wild to me because like that card's mess up. So that sucks. Let's keep on plus in here. Realmwalker is a shapeshifter, so it triggers twice. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Wow, that's sick. Right, pass the turn here. So, Grizz doesn't make Boseiju cheaper, so it takes me 2 mana to blow this up. I really don't want to, though, because that would give my opponent mana. Right now, they're at 11. They're going to play Omnath, and I'm just going to cut it with a trigger on the stack. So I think we're just going to try to win through this Chalice. So, cut here. And I know that I could kill it with Grist, but I don't want my opponent to find the fetch land and they actually stabilize here. Also, the more that I keep plussing with Grist, the more that we threaten lethal. So at this point, the ultimate would deal 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. And we can throw these into the garbage as well. So here's down to 9. Opponent's down 2 Omnaths at this point. They pitched the first one to Solitude, and now we murderously cut the other Omnath. Still saving this Windswept Heath in case we do draw a Realm Walker. I have to imagine this Chalice of the Void is doing some work for me. They play the fetch land, so that means no Omnath, I imagine, unless they're playing around another Murderous Cut, which seems unlikely. Opponent tapping Heat. Classic. Fairy Time Raveler. I'm gonna kill my insect. They are. So we're gonna go face here, and we can just throw these Korean Rangers into the trash. And ultimate Grist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do I get blown out? How do I get blown out? They can't kill the Grist at instant speed. I think I don't get blown out. Endurance? There's no way my opponent has Endurance. Just no way my opponent has Endurance in their deck right now. They have Endurance, dude. Oh, wow! Well, that's obviously an insane blowout. Why is Endurance in their deck? Like, obviously we get super punished there, but I mean, we do get to attack here. We do have to dodge Solitude. Do we want to blow up Chalice? I don't think so. Immediately punished. Well, I don't think we can beat Solitude, so... And they have it. Obviously they have Solitude, man. Oh my god, what a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Well, now we just lose. They gain 3, take 1. I think that's just... I mean, I guess I'm going to continue playing for a little bit, but I think I can't win anymore. So now they kill Grist. Yep. So Grist down. We have to draw Collected Company. That's how we win this game. We have to draw Collected Company right now. Night of Autumn. I am so surprised at how they sideboarded. Like, their sideboarding makes no sense at all to me. Their sideboarding makes no sense. Like, it obviously worked out. And I'm fetching here because with the other fetch land, I can actually turn the Reclaimer into a 3/4. Counters. Spell Stutter Sprite. Alright. My opponent wanted it more. We actually talk about this in the newest episode of Mishra's Bobble. Like, Spell Stutter Sprite in this deck is just chef's kiss. Absolutely delightful. Yeah. Well, just dead now. That's kind of awesome. So you're gonna gain 4 more life, shuffle my graveyard again, and I guess give 1 more loyalty to the fairy. Like, it's not bad. They should blink. I guess at this time they just plus. Yeah, that's better. Spell Sprite can counter something. Wow. Yeah. If my opponent would have been able to stack their deck, it would have looked exactly like what happened. I have been outplayed. Alright, see you next round. Alright, 3rd match against Kaheera. What could this be these days? Blue-white control, I assume? I'm gonna keep this hand though. It's a lot of 1-drops, but if I can go Yeah, probably blue-white. That's a lot of 1-drops. So I'm gonna go Mystic here. There's an argument for going for a Reclaimer, but I think that whatever I cast here is gonna get... It's gonna get Prismatic Ending. So... Yep. Maybe I should have gone for Llanowar Elf instead? I don't know. Chalice on 1? Oh, okay. No, March is fine. So now that we did that, I think we're gonna go... Mystic into Reclaimer, give my opponent a choice. Next turn we're going to be able to play Creon Ranger, which is going to be good, alongside Heritage Druid. This is also nice against Fire Ice. Nice against Fire Ice. Okay, so let's play our land first. And let's lead on Heritage Druid. Maybe this gets countered. It does not. Okay, play... I think we want to play Anthem. I think this is going to buy a counter spell. And I think we play into Verdict that we could play another Dork. But I think I'm just going to attack with Reclaimer with Mystic here. So that's a blank draw. Just going to attack and say go. Opponent did not have a Wrath. I think they would have Wrath there if they could. So I'm just going to play Llanowar Elves there. End step, we can get Dryad Arbor. Fire Ice probably. Yeah. That sucks. But it is what it is. We're going to fetch Dryad Arbor here. Okay. And at this point, we're not playing around anything, I don't think. Opponent could have another counter spell. But I don't think I can really play around stuff anymore. Now they could have Solitude, which is bad for me. That's pretty bad for me. Collected Company, please. Second War Master. I'm gonna play this pre-combat in case of Solitude. But now if I don't attack, I think I'm just gonna attack with the War Master. Yeah, they do have Solitude. So they're just gonna Solitude the other War Master and then kill this one. But at least we got 2 tokens out of the deal. Oh, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chalice for 1. Well, joke's on you, opponent. We played all of our random 1-drop dudes. Dace and Duin. Okay. Like, that was actually good for me. Okay, so... Actually, should have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, so let's just sack this Elf Warrior, load it up. I guess I can't, never mind. I was thinking I could play another Grist, but okay. Can we dodge Super Verdict once again? Fire and Ice, okay. So as is, opponent goes to, oh, they can't shock, okay. So opponent goes down to 1 here. And we get to play another Grist. And I'm gonna play my land first because of Spell Pierce. I guess they can't have Spell Pierce. But here's a Gristo. Probably gonna draw a card on end step. Fairy Town Raveler. Wrath or Bust. That's the name of the game here. Alright, sweet. Blue-white control. So we're gonna cut 4 Heritage Druid and 3 Elvish Champions. And Bojuka Bog. And we want to bring in 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Endurance. Super sure I love this sideboarding plan. We'll see how it plays out, but I'm not super in love with it. Particularly knowing about Chalice, maybe I want to have at least 1 Force. Ah, yes, definitely keeping this hand. We're going to have the eternal question. The turn 1 Thoughtseize or Llanowar Elf? I think I'm going to go with Thoughtseize because my opponent could have Chalice. Interesting. So I think we'll just take Counterspell here. Dresdown is interesting against us. Like, it's basically Time Walk. Scalding Tarn. Having Collected Company in hand probably means that we're gonna... they don't cycle Dresdown. Interesting. Narset is big game for sure. Narset is big game here. And opponent correctly does not attack, or does not do anything with Narset there. So we can bring the Narset down to 1. Dace and Doing still gets us. We can Collected Company, but we have no more Lords in our deck. So let's just go ahead and, I mean, we're just gonna not have collected company, but like it doesn't really do here, I guess, because I'm making shuffle. We're gonna get to draw only one card. Oh wow, look at the top 4. Find Verdict, land, we're gonna Wrath. Okay, pass the turn. Totally have nothing going on. Totally don't have anything. I'm gonna do this now because it forces my opponent to do something. Yeah, let's do this. We get a couple of scries, get a little bit of value. Bottom that. Sylvan Anthem's gone now. Opponent can Dason do it now, but it just doesn't really do anything. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Realm Walker. Name Elves. Fetch. Let's get a Black Source. Reclaimer, okay. And we have a Coco on top. Alright. So this kills Narset. And I guess I'm gonna send 2 at Narset in case of Solitude. It's basically whether my opponent has another Wrath or not. I feel like if they don't have it, they do. Okay. So we do have company, which is nice. And I'm gonna main phase the company because I want to play around counter magic. Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Going maybe a little bit too deep. War Master, Realm Walker, Elf. Pass. Alright, instant board state. I guess I don't know my opponent's hand anymore here. You have another Wrath? Solitude Hardcast? Okay. They probably have to kill the Realm Walker, yeah. Okay, here's an Elvish Mystic. Solitude. Okay. This kills the War Master. We play on though. We play on. And if my opponent attacks, I'm gonna Jace. We're just gonna Hardcast Endurance. Jace on a controlled board is very powerful. 1, 2, 3. I have to imagine this is gonna die. It doesn't. Okay. I think my graveyard has a significant amount of gas. So I'm just gonna target myself. That sucks. Cycle here. See what we find. Reclaimer is kind of nice. So attack Jace. Got an answer, opponent. A Ganjo, Seat of the Empire. Opponent confirmed has an answer. Okay, what's Reclaimer gonna do for me here? How is Reclaimer gonna be the good guy? Can we turn Reclaimer into a 3/4? Don't think so. E for 1's pretty good. E for 1's pretty good. That's fine. I'm gonna fetch for Dried Arbor here. Not that it's really gonna make a change, but alright. So we have to main face this. And they have the counter. Seen enough. I've seen enough. Game 3. Am I interested in Necromentia for Verdict? I think Endurance is kind of okay, but I'm not super stoked about it. I feel like we have to keep them in because I guess that these are company hits too. Like we have a bunch of non-creature cards here. So I want my companies to just like hit every time. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Okay, once again, the classic no black source hand, but I'm gonna have to keep it. And turn 1 elf, here we go. Prismatic Ending. Alright, Prismatic Ending resolves. Play this. I think we're gonna do 1 and 1 as opposed to going for double Reclaimer. Really wish I could find like a fetch land or something. Let's go with Sylvan Anthem. I assume it's gonna get countered. Engineer Explosives freaks me out though. Probably can't play around it. I have to put more pressure. We're missing land drops already. But if my opponent has explosives for 1, we're in a lot of trouble. Jesus. Okay. Just no black source there. Such a beating. Chalice for 1. It's kind of okay. Do you want to make them shuffle? Just shuffle myself. Hey, there we go. So, attack. I'm gonna slam Grist here because we have another one. Otherwise, I think I will just pass because my opponent's kind of forced into... They just have nothing. Don't mind if I do. Okay. Well, so this is lethal next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It counts itself, right? If it goes to the graveyard. I think so, right? Science. Is this lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count 6. Yes! Grist. Let's go. Oh man, you love to see it. See you next round. Alrighty. Zero lander. Ship it. One lander. We'll probably have to keep this. And I think we're going to bottom the Elvish whatever. We're going to lead on turn 1 Llanowar Elf. And if we do resolve it, like if the Llanowar Elf survives, we're going to get to do a lot of things on turn 2. Because then we can go play Quirion Ranger, float mana, untap, bounce the forest. With the floated mana, Heritage Druid, we can Collected Company on turn 2, if my math is correct. Which would be fairly strong, I assume. Opponent moves to 5. Turn 1 Ursa Saga. Probably Amulet. Amulet's really the only deck that will go turn 1 Ursa Saga and be actively excited about that. Huh. Yeah, this is Amulet. So, I guess now Boseiju is an option. So we can go Elf, float mana, untap, bounce, replay land, play... We can go Anthem into Heritage Druid. Oh man, this is wild. So we can go War Master. I guess we can go War Master into Druid and then Boseiju. So that's better. Heritage Druid, trigger. Now tap all 3 of these. Boseiju, your Saga. Is that better? I get, is that something I want to do now? I think so. I think so. I just want to slow my opponent down. Maybe I should be saving that for a Dryad, but my opponent... I guess they couldn't have Dryad last turn. They do have Dryad, however. So if they have Prime Time, I'm going to lose if they have enough lands, which they do. No extra land drop, huh. Alright, so... Druid, 1, 2, 3... I can go 4 mana. I can go Anthem. We can go Anthem into Company. We could Champion into Company. I think I want to Anthem into Company. Untap here. Float mana first. Untap here. Bounce. Replay. Collected Company. Okay. Gonna always yield to these triggers. Bottom that land. Bottom that land. Do we bottom that too? Probably. So here I can... So here I can play around Valakut. So I have to make sure that whatever I do is lethal next turn. So I'm not gonna play this Elvish Champion. I think we're gonna top the Sylvan Anthem, because next turn I can go 1, 2, 3, play Champion. 2 mana, play Anthem. Yeah, I think this is fine. So we're just gonna pass the turn here. Because I think my opponent is gonna try to, you know, Valakut my board. And we can actually play around that. Radiant Fountain is maybe a beating. There's Summoner's Pact. Opponent has made their extra land drops. We're gonna see where they put their Valakut triggers. So this means that they kill nothing, which is obviously great for us. So Druid, 1, 2, 3. Float mana, untap. Druid, 1, 2, 3. Activate. They don't have extra land drops, they've used them all. Valakut did nothing. And now we're gonna get to untap, play your land, play Sylvan Anthem. And then their Dryad means that they give us Forest Walk. So I guess the best thing to do is, should we Druid first? So this is gonna be 5 plus 5 plus 4, 18, 22. So I think I have exactly enough. Maybe I have a little bit over enough. Heritage Druid, 2, 3. think we're Gucci here. Bottom that. I get this just showing my opponent how unlucky I am. And untap one of these dudes and swing. Not bad, not bad. Turning the tides. Not bad at all. That was kind of sick. All right, Amulet. What are we doing against Amulet? Okay, so some pretty heavy sideboarding in this matchup. I'm not super sold on the Thoughtseizes here. We're cutting the Sylvan Anthems, we're bringing in all of these cards. We're cutting some of these 3 Realm Walkers and Bojuka Bar. I'm not super sold on Thoughtseizes. They feel like they may be just a tad of overboarding. I do like the 3 forces, I do love the Necromentia, but again, we'll see. I'm no expert with this deck, so I'm going to refer to the person that has been working on the deck for a while. It's an interesting hand. I'm actually not sure how I feel about Necromentia in the deck as a card, honestly. Like, double black seems not easy at all to do in this deck. Not to do on turn 3, at least. Do I want to keep this in? I don't think I do. This seems much better. So we're going to keep and bottom the War Master. So we can go turn 1 Elf. Bottom War Master, immediately draw War Master. Classic strategy. So now we can turn to the Grist if we want to. If I do find another Elf, I'm going to turn to the War Master plus Elf, I think. Well, that's not the Elf I had in mind, so we're just going to get a Grist Arena going on here. I think if I probably place Dryad, I'm just gonna let it go. It may speed up their Titan by a turn, but I think it's worth running the risk. I guess I just Grist, so it's fine. I don't think I'm gonna Grist this. Ooh, no extra land drop? Oh, yikes. Okay, so we're just gonna plus here, and we're gonna pass the turn. We can force, or we can company. I guess we can actually do both if we wanted to. But I just want to put like a solid board state in place and then like Elvis Champ. Okay, this is 5 mana. This is not Titan mana. Karn's good though. Karn is legit. We can kill it with Grist though, which is nice. Alternatively, we can just kill the Azusa and... Okay, so they can't name Mystics. I'm just going to wait for them to, choose the thing. They're 100% gonna name Grist though. Really unfortunate my opponent drew the basic first, although I guess we have the combo going on here. Champion plus Cradle. Yeah, it was a very unlucky opponent, did not find, just didn't have anything. Unluckiest player. So, it's kind of nice. I'm gonna save the thing for now. Let's go with Champion, and I think I'm going to play Reclaimer here. And I'm going to save the War Master to blow something up if I need to. Face, Karn, face. Could throw some insect tokens into the garbage. Like I can throw the tokens into the garbage for 1 point of damage. I don't think that's worth it. But here my opponent can't both Titan and Dryad. They can only do one of those things. We're going to have a lethal next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, we're not gonna have it. We're not gonna have enough for lethal. But I just don't really think I can lose with this force. That's prime time. Radiant Fountain. Okay. So opponent can double strike if they want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have enough mana for War Master. So I'm just gonna play Elvish Mystic, trigger War Master, puts another blocker into play, and now we're gonna attack 1, 2, 3, 4. This sets up lethal for next turn. Dismember would be a problem, but everything else we're pretty much covered against. Like Pact of Negation would also be a problem, but can't really play around Pact of Negation. Gonna see a Dryad here probably. Yep. Opponent tapped a little bit wrong here because now they can't double strike. If they have tapped one of the bounce lands, they could have also threatened double strike, which would have forced me into doing the thing. If they have second Dryad, I lose, but I can't beat second Dryad. So we definitely want to stop the fields to that. So force, cast, blow these up. So if my opponent does have another Dryad, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. But if they do have another Dryad, then we're just dead. So can't really play around that. And now the question is, what do we do here? Do I just trade with this Primeval Titan? I don't think I do. I'm just gonna take it. Because if my opponent does have the second Dryad, we're dead regardless. Because my opponent's gonna have like infinite extra land drops next to Azusa. Yeah, okay. So they do have the second Dryad. But we couldn't have played around this because even if we held the force, then we just died to the triggers. So dead. Next one. Do I want to change anything? Maybe Murderous Gut is somewhat interesting to me. I'm really not feeling the Thoughtseize and the Necromentia. These feel like so clunky. Like we have already enough trouble finding black sources. This, I guess it's 12 black sources that we have access to. It feels like less, honestly. Like we've been really struggling to find them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really not feeling the Necromentias. I just feel like we just don't have enough colored sources as I draw like mono colored sources. I'm gonna keep this hand, I think. Slow and steady is what I would call this hand. And we all know that that wins the race, so obviously we're gonna keep this hand. Obviously, that's just, you know, proper strategy. Turn 1, just Overgrown Tomb go. Opponent move to 6. I think we're just gonna fetch for another Overgrown Tomb there. Gracer, okay, it's fine. Yep, go fetch a tapped source, I guess. They do have Dryad here. Azusa, once again, interesting. Okay. Once again, they don't have... Oh no, they just made use of all the extra land. In the last game, they did miss a land drop when they did the thing, but that's a good one that we can pitch to force, which is nice. Forest... Where are my Necromancias now? Yeah, that card that I didn't want to draw, I kind of want to draw it now. Oh yeah, Thoughtseize, there we go. That would have been good. That would have been quite solid. I think in this situation, I would have actually, if I had access to a random creature to sacrifice, I would have actually killed the Azusa. I think we're doing this. My opponent can't tap this for mana, and if that's their only land drop, then... Well, never mind. Super punished. Just grossly punished for my play. Well, I guess that didn't work out, huh? Okay, so here we're gonna get to kill the Primeval Titan, which is something at least. Opponent sets up the next one, the right play, good for them. They should attack the Grist, it's good. Kill Primetime. Opponent did not set themselves up for hasting. Transmute. Okay. For some respect, they have exactly to cast Primetime here. I'm just gonna have 6 and then F3 whenever my opponent gives me back my priority. This is obviously bad news. If they have another T-West, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. So hopefully maybe they have their one. Valakut and Ursa Saga are my opponent's choices. Okay. Not gonna blow up that just yet. Gonna see if my opponent attacks. They do. Do we get the Reclaimer and Warmaster? Okay. Do get a nice little free block here, which is cool. We're pretty far behind though. It's potentially a way for catching up. Potentially a way we can catch up. This is gonna be kind of interesting here. Alright, so opponent pays for Pact. Let's see what they got ready for this turn. We can Company, leaving Peatland up, and if we find exactly Heritage Druid, then we can crack the Nurturing Peatland. Let's see what my opponent gets here. Let's see what they get. They get the Haste Land, so no Valak. That makes me think they don't have Dryad in hand, although it could be, you know, just like a thing where they're bluffing. Opponent returns Forest, which makes sense. They're attacking Grist. Opponent is attacking Grist. I think I'm just gonna let Grist go here, so I don't die to a second main phase Dryad. They play out the Forest. It looks like they have nothing. Company. War Master into Heritage Druid. Okay. Some triggers. And now we can go Druid. Tap 3 Elves. Activate Reclaimer. Cracking Basic Forest. We can go find... Just now a 3-4. So with 4 lands, I think I'm just going to get Yavimaya. In case I draw off of the... I draw the Lord off of this. Another Reclaimer. Okay, so we don't have the Lord. We can... Let's start here. This is going to trigger War Master. And this is now mana for Reclaimer. For War Master, sorry. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm 1 mana off. We're 1 mana off activating, which means that I'm going to have to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19. But my opponent has 2 potential blockers. So that's just not good enough. I guess I'm going to have to play this defensively. So we're just going to play this Lana World here. And we're just going to hardcast this Force, I guess. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3 to make an activation. 1, 2, 3 to make another activation. 1, 2, 3 for a third activation of Heritage Druid, which means that we're going to get to both Force of Vigor and we're also going to get to activate War Master. Opponent makes a construct end step. That's pretty relevant, I think. This is what's going to matter. This is going to be the key turn. And this Force of Vigor has basically Dryad's name written on it. I'm probably not going to kill anything that's not a Dryad. Opponent goes floating mana. That's scary. That's definitely scary. Go for Amulet. Okay. Second Primetime. They tap Sandhome. Karn the Great Creep. So that's gonna get Ballista, I assume? And they can Ballista for 8, 10. Yep, Ballista for 10. Make that 12. So the thing here is that I guess we have to activate War Master right now. So let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna activate the War Master right here. And now we'll let Ballista resolve. We're gonna see whether my opponent attacks or not. And I think what I'm gonna do is with the attack trigger on this stack. Oh, they do nothing? That's good. Okay, so now I can blow up Construct and Walking Ballista. Is this lethal? So my opponent's gonna kill probably one of the War Masters and then dome me for 2. Actually, it's probably better for them to kill Heritage Druid in Llanowar Elf. 1, 2, 3. Man, this is awkward. So if they kill both of these, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble, actually. Because I'm not going to have enough mana to activate War Master anymore. I mean, I still think I have to do it. Because otherwise they untap and they get to do the thing again. But maybe that means that I'm supposed to blow up the Amulet instead of the Construct token? I think so. Because now the game is going to go longer than just next turn. This is also worse in the face of... This is worse in the face of Dryad, of course. But yeah, the correct play here will be to blow up the Heritage Druid and the Llanowar Elf. My opponent's going for the wrong play here, I think. They're killing the War Master. So that's best case scenario for me. Alright, so we can... What do we do here? We activate Druid. I guess we want to go... Man, this is some hard math to do here. 1, 2 to play War Master. I mean, I guess we probably can't do that. So we can't play War Master. We have to activate Heritage Druid with all 3 of these and all of our mana. So that means we're going to attack with these, which is going to be 5, 10, plus 4. That is 14. It's lethal. The problem is my opponent is going to chomp and chomp. And they don't have to chomp with the Primeval Titan, if I'm not mistaken. So since they don't have to chomp with Primeval Titan, am I supposed to just play War Master and say go? I guess War Master is 3 creatures, so it's actually better to play the War Master. Because it's gonna trigger off of... It's gonna trigger itself off of the token that the other War Master puts in. Oh wow. Well, that was not lethal. That was an early concession. Yeah, I guess my opponent just... Huh. I'm surprised. So they said in chat, hesitated, but I think the play was EE for 2, then Ballista, hoping you don't kill the Karn. But I don't think that was the play. The play, I think, was kill the Heritage Druid and the Llanowar Elf. And that limits my mana considerably. And then I can't activate War Master. EE for 2 would have been interesting. But then that again assumes that you're going to untap. So if they had gone EE for 2, then I get to blow up both the Construct and the Amulet. And maybe I get to kill them. I don't know. Like, this was definitely an early concession for sure. But super close game though. Super close match. Maybe my opponent was just like, you know, their hand was just blanks. But yeah, great match. Great match. Okay, let's see if we can wrap this league up. This hand looks fine to me. So we can go turn 1 Mystic of... I think I want to Fetch Shock? I think I want to Fetch Shock. Yeah, I think that Fetch Shocking is better. It allows me more flexibility in cycling the Peatland later. So we're just going to Fetch Shock to play like Llanowar Elf, I guess. But yeah, this looks like a keep. Turn 2, we get to go War Master into Heritage Druid. So hopefully we draw something like the Sylvan and the Enchantment, whatever. Collected Company would also be great. Opponent mull to 6. So we're just gonna hope that my little elf dude doesn't die. Open tomb. Elf dude, go. Let's see what we're up against. Basic Forest. Search for Tomorrow. Okay, so they're playing this Scapeshift deck. This deck's all the rage right now. So War Master into Heritage Druid. This triggers 1, 2, 3. 3 mana. I think I'm just gonna play Realmwalker here. Name Elf. Say go. Gonna have a pretty saucy turn coming up. Search for Tomorrow. Triggers. When the Scapeshift deck draws the Basic Forest, it's just so bad. Like they're literally 1 turn further away from Valakut because they drew the Basic Forest. Pretty brutal. So Heritage Druid, tap, tap, tap. Realmwalker. Can name Insect. It's so sexy. Insect. Is that? Yeah, I guess we're gonna name this. I'm probably still going to Company. Wait, I can't do this? Wait, why can't I cast this? I mean, I'm just gonna Company into it, but I don't understand. Why can't I cast that card? I should be able to. Right? Well, maybe this is just better than that card, huh? Draw another Company. Gross. Whoops. 3 mana. Korean Ranger. Elvish Mystic. I guess we could Company here. So Ranger. I guess we're gonna tap this. Untap it. Bounce in that. We still have a land drop for turn. Let's draw the Collected Company. And that's pretty bad. But that's fine. Keep on companying. Reclaimer, War Master. Okay, please don't have main deck Anger of the Gods. And sure, let's keep going. Let's keep going, why not? Oh man, very unlucky. Honestly, very, very unlucky that we were not allowed to continue there. Alright, anger me, opponent. Show me your anger. Even if they draw, I guess they could go Dryad into land, explore. And that will allow them to trigger Valakut. And maybe that way they get to kill my Elvish champion. There's a Dryad. Dwarven of mine. That's fine. It's another land. Okay. Gotta explore now. No exploring. Okay. So I definitely want to activate War Master. Allows me to play around removal spell on the Elvish champion. So we're gonna leave this guy back to block. And we have, I guess we want to activate twice, but we also have our, this is close. Do I want to main phase do this? Because, no, I already played my extra land, so I guess this doesn't do anything. So we have Forest Walk. We want to leave 1, 2, 3 boys back. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, counting the Korean Ranger activation. So I think we should be good. Unless they have double Lightning Bolt. And even if they do, they're just chump blocking. So I think 3 mana to activate, 3 to activate champion and tap. I guess this plays around 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess this is better because it plays around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this plays around double removal spell on the Elves chain. As is, my boys walk through the forest. Fetching response. Okay. I don't think my opponent realized that I have a bunch of forest walking dudes. Yeah, there we go. Alright, Red Green Scape Shift. This deck is all the rage now. So I think we want these cards. Maybe Murderous Cut. Necromantia being able to name Valakut is a big deal. So I want to cut a couple of Heritage Druids. Let me cut 1 Ramwalker. Elvish Champion sounds great. Maybe just cut the Grists altogether. 28 creatures for Coco. Maybe I want Forces. I don't think I do. Murderous Cut also somewhat interesting. Oh, Bojuga Bog out. Bring in another Heritage. I started to Druid better than Ramwalker. Probably is. It probably is on the draw, and I'm probably going to go for Ramwalker on the play. Okay, let's keep this hand. Turn 1 Elf into turn 2 Ramwalker, turn 3 Coco. I honestly don't think it's super likely that my opponent is playing something like Kaheera of the Gods, and that's probably like a good reason to be playing a deck like this right now, is because those kind of cards are at an all-time low, obviously because they suck, right? I mean, that's, you know, obviously the best possible start there, but it's fine, it's fine. So let's play that in case we draw, what's his name? This definitely forces me into playing Sylvan Anthem as opposed to the Elf for obvious reasons. Otherwise my Elf just dies to Ren. Next turn we're gonna walk the realms. Then following turn we get to Coco, which is nice. Opponent plays Steve. No fetch land is good for us. Really good for Elvish Mystics. So we can... I think I want to double Elf here as opposed to playing Realmwalker. And the reason for that is that it gives me double look at finding either a Thoughtseize or what's his name? Necromantia. So, that's actually kind of tempting. Yeah, I guess we're keeping that one. That one's maybe a little bit too good. But yeah, my opponent not having a fetch from there is massive, right? This probably means they have Dryad, however, which is... I mean, if they don't have Valakut, it's not really a big deal. Like, still 2 turns before my opponent gets to Lightning Bolt my thing. That's fine. Another Dwarven Mine, still no fetches, and they don't have double green. Now they do. So if one of the last remaining cards is Primeval Titan, maybe we're in trouble. Chalice for 1. Well, probably should have fetched there, huh? Let's pass the turn. Don't think there's too much we can do here. On the attack, they have, like, they're fetching for a basic forest anyway, so... Oh, they don't have prime time? This is just wrong. There's no way you don't fetch for a basic forest there. What if you double deck prime? Oh, they already have the fetch. Never mind then. Opponent knows what's up. Okay, so I guess they had already set it up, right? And they were saving the Steve. Oh, okay. Another Steve. Okay, so they just have nothing over there. I think I'm just gonna... I'm gonna company... I guess I'm gonna fetch first. For another black source, because we can still name Valakut. War Master Champion seems like a fantastic thing to get here. Any order... Stack some triggers. Yeah, second company is probably too good to pass up. So this means we kill Ren in 6. Now the question is, do we care about that? Another Coco, another War Master in Quarian Ranger. I think I just want to get Reclaimer. Definitely getting second War Master. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get Quarian Ranger. Quarian Ranger means more mana. Maybe we can even activate, what's his name here? See some triggers. Quarian Ranger to the bottom. Heritage Druid also to the bottom. Mystic to the bottom. Company to the top. So I think we still have a land drop here, so let's do this and tap that. Play this. Now we can cast Realm Walker, name Elf. Top, and we have some Forest Walking dudes, so attack Ren. I guess I attack Ren with both. The last card is a fetch land. I guess if they draw Prime Time, I lose anyway. So I think I'm going to attack both of these at Ren. And then if my opponent wants to triple block the Elves champion, that's fine. They should just chomp with the Dwarf token. Because the only card that matters really is Primeval Titan or Scapeshift. Or like Wish, I guess. So if they triple block, and my opponent's dead regardless, so I guess it doesn't matter. I was thinking that maybe I shouldn't have topped the company, but like it just doesn't matter. Like they either find Primeval Titan or Wish, or they lose. Like there's no other way around it. So this is just fine. All right, 4-1. Okay, I have to say I am pleasantly surprised. The format is right now very much not ready for a deck like this. So it seems like a great time to be playing a strategy like this. Sylvan Anthem was very, very good. Like this cry that you get just is so good at making sure you never run out of gas. I was very impressed. Like I really liked what's going on here. The Yavimayas were great alongside Elvis Champion. The synergies with Quarian Ranger came up multiple times. I was impressed with everything going on with the deck. I thought Reclaimer was a little bit lackluster, but it's probably still better than something like Nettle Sentinel. Just because Nettle Sentinel is just not a very good card. So Reclaimer is a much better card overall, and it gives you access to some things that we actually did take advantage of in this league. Dread Arbor kind of sucked. Like I was not a fan of Dread Arbor. I think I would cut the Arbor and maybe like cut this for another just normal land, probably just a black source, maybe another fetch land, or I don't know, like the Blooming Marsh, is that the name of the fast land? But I felt like I was short on black sources very much, and also Necromentia is the double black card that you want to cast on turn 2 or 3 already. So I feel like trying to, have more black sources so we can make sure we can cast our cyborg cards on time can be important. But yeah, Elvis Champion, very, very strong. Like Elvis Champion plus Yamaya is no joke at all. Very strong synergy. Collected Company basically never whiffed, which is also great, which makes sense, right? Like we have 34 hits in this deck. Like that's so many hits for Collected Company. But it's nice. It's very, very nice. Good deck. I had fun. I'm not sold on the sideboard. I'm just not a big fan of this card and this card. I'm just not sure that they work out nicely. Instead of Necromentia, you could play the Convoke one that's only a single black. The problem with that is that the issue that card has is that it can't name lands. So Necromentia being able to name a land like Valakut is very, very important, or like Urza's Saga, or like Urza's Tower, or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of important. But besides that, the sideboard felt okay. It's just these two cards that were a little bit clunky in the matches that we played. Maybe it was a small sample size. I could see the cards being good. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the likes and subscribe button if you did enjoy the video. And see you on the next one, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.